Hello, and welcome to the Freedom Challenge online podcast. Here at the Freedom Challenge, we strive to do good by helping enslaved women and children to do more than you ever thought physically possible, and to do it together by connecting women with a heart for a hurting world. We hope you enjoy your time being informed and encouraged with host Tracy Doherty and our amazing guests. So let's get ready and join Tracy for this week's episode.
Welcome back to the Freedom Challenge online podcast. This is your host and the director of the Freedom Challenge, Tracy Doherty. If you're a new listener and you're wondering what we are all about here at the Freedom Challenge, I am happy to fill you in. We are a movement of passionate women who participate in physical challenges that definitely test our limits, while raising funds and awareness that disrupt the cycles of poverty and oppression, and often these things result in human trafficking. So our focus is really on women and children living in some of the harshest places in the world. Now, we're called Freedom Challenge for a reason. And much of what we do here is challenging. Something we often say is our challenge, their freedom. So I just want to give you a disclaimer here. You will be challenged. And I happen to believe that a comfort zone is often beautiful, but nothing really grows there. We often grow in the tension of challenge. I've noticed that through the years that fundraising is often, I would say sometimes even a greater challenge than the physical challenge that our Freedom Sisters embark upon. I'm curious about that. We're going to unpack that a little bit. But I also want to remind you that this fundraising is not for you. It is for the 43 projects, the ministries that are empowering women and children and bringing freedom to them worldwide. Today, I have two Freedom team members. Maybe you know them, Ella and Brooklyn. They're pretty fabulous. And they're going to bring to us some maybe tools and ease that we can bring to this space of the challenge. You know, you wouldn't go on a Freedom Challenge if you were not training physically. I kind of think this is the training for the other aspect of the Freedom Challenge, which is fundraising, peer-to-peer fundraising. You'll hear more about that. So ladies, I'm so glad that we are spending this morning together. Would you introduce yourself, how you actually got here to this place, and what you love about the Freedom Challenge, and maybe even one that you have participated in thus far?
Hello, I am Brooklyn. I'm usually on the other side of the podcast doing the behind the scenes work. So it's fun to be on this side today. And I'm the content and brand lead for the Freedom Challenge. So that means I oversee all of the visual and audible content like the podcast. In addition to creating marketing campaigns and just essentially overseeing how people experience our brand. And this all started about a year ago when a friend sent me this job opening, and I was like, wow, this sounds incredible. Yes, and my life has really been changed, like no joke. Last year I was able to be a part of our first New York City urban hike, and that was really great. Immediately got to see what we're all about. And I also got to go on the El Camino de Santiago challenge. And that was just, took it to a whole nother level. But a little bit about me. I am an artist and creative at heart. And it's been pretty cool to see how God has expanded my creativity in this role specifically, and used it in ways I never even thought. But personally, I live in Atlanta. And just a few months ago, I married the love of my life, James, a sweet Ghanaian man. And it's just in a pretty special chapter right now of not only just establishing my union with him, but also just really loving and flourishing in my work.
Brooklyn, you've changed my life and our team's life. You have added so much with your expertise, your creative eye. And as I said just before we got on this call, your wonderful, peaceful, non-anxious presence that brings a steadiness to this team. I'm really grateful for you.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much, Tracy. And yes, I couldn't agree with you more. Brooklyn has just been the most incredible blessing to our team since she's been here. So, my name is Ella. I've been here for about 2 years now, just coming up on 2 years, which seems absolutely wild to me. I actually interviewed for this role about 2 days after my wedding, which is just it just shows like how the Freedom Challenge just kind of it came into my life at such a transformational season. And I'll never forget interviewing with Tracy while she was in Italy, sitting on her porch and just falling in love with what the Freedom Challenge does with the ladies on the team. And it's just been such an incredible adventure ever since. I actually started off as an admin assistant, temporary admin assistant to Tracy, and then I had the opportunity to come on the Georgia Regional Challenge. And shortly after, I was offered a full-time role as the data and communications lead, which basically means that I get to be in the back end of our processes and our systems and trying to create as much ease as I possibly can for our team and for our participants. And I also work with communications, which means that I get to interact with our beautiful participants on a regular basis, just making sure we're able to offer them the top-notch experience that the Freedom Challenge loves to offer. Personally, I live in Nashville, Tennessee right now with my husband, and we are in a really exciting season as well. He's going to be starting medical school here in the next 2 months, and so we're getting ready to pack up and move. We're not really sure where yet, but we're okay with that because we're just so excited to see what God has in store for us.
Yes. You have changed our life too, Ella. I remember it like yesterday. I think you lasted in that admin assistant role for so very short because it was really recognized that your gifts were laying in a place that we really needed. And remembering the activation of your mind to be able to begin to solve things that had been obstacles or stuck places has been really, 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 really fabulous. And the combination of you two have brought us up a notch, not a notch, probably like 10 notches. So thrilled to have this conversation with you both. So something I just want to set with those that are listening is that, Freedom Challenge has been in existence for 12 years. And we started out as a big idea in a visionary woman's mind, which I love a big idea in a visionary woman's mind, which was Kathy Anderson. Some of you may know her, some of you may not. You could learn a little bit more on our website about the creation of the Freedom Challenge. But whenever something is started, it's beautiful because it's messy and it's accidental miracles everywhere, and it's things are popping out and evolving and retrofitting and changing. And hats off to OM for actually keeping this wildfire going down the track. So here we are 12 years later. And we have grown. We have grown in measurement, in women who have been involved, in impact of dollars, in our programs, all of these things, which is a good thing. But with that is also growing pains. So if you're not growing, you don't have growing pains, and that's a problem. So we have come to find that through listening to those who have participated, that there were some real things that needed to be solved. And for those classy and all of these wonderful platforms that were brought to being in the beginning, they have served us well. But the systems that we move forward in are needing some love. And so we want to talk about the love that has been given and how that impacts you, because our prayer is that it makes this portion, fundraising, opening your mouth and being a voice for those who have not yet found their voice, we want that to have more ease and flow. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. So these fresh eyes, these fresh ears have taken this time, and we've made some decisions. We want to share them with you. And first, I want to hear a little bit about the behind the scenes process in your research, because I think that really does validate where we've arrived.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, Tracy, our biggest pool of research was our current community. Last year, we had a gathering of our ambassadors, And I was able to attend, and I was pretty new in my role. So I was like, tell me everything I need to know, right? What do you love? What's going great? What's missing? How can I help? What do you need me to do? And we heard over and over again, I want to hear more impact stories. I need help fundraising. I need things to be easy to navigate. And so I kind of had those in the back of my mind when Ella and I kind of got together and had our conversations.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Our biggest pull of research was definitely the felt needs of our community. I mean, regularly interacting with participants, we had the same questions coming up, the same pain points, the same needs in regards to fundraising resources and our website, and just their overall ability to access and experience everything that the Freedom Challenge is about, and then be able to communicate that to their communities so that they could fundraise and get more people involved.
And we also looked at other nonprofits too, looking at like, oh wow, what are they doing really well? Like, how are they continuing to inspire their community, even though they're doing and advocating for something completely different than us? What can we take from that? How can we be inspired by them even, and make that work for what we have going on?
A lot of listening to learn, and I have really appreciated that. A lot of engaging with what do we need to hear and not being satisfied with we did that well and we're good with it. And I really appreciate that about the two of you, actually about our team and those that are leading within our team. Something that we value highly in the Freedom Challenge is this sisterhood. We call it Freedom Sisters, our team, the Freedom Challenge team. We have a value on sisterhood, that we would be authentic with one another, that we would do things together, that we would not just share work, but also share life. And that from that becomes a secret sauce that impacts a lot of our community, what we do. So what I have appreciated in this journey is the sisterhood and the do it together that has been modeled from the inside now out. And I really do believe how we do what we do impacts what we do. So I want to hear about that together, doing it together. Sometimes, if we do it by ourselves, we can get it done quickly. We also don't listen to learn, we just listen to ourselves. But when we do it in partnership and sisterhood, there is tension, but also beauty. And I want to hear how that's been for the two of you.
Yeah, I feel like our partnership really began, Ella, when we first met. We were very lucky to be able to meet in person for the very first time. And those people in your life where you just hit it off with them, you just get along. And, it might be that we're in the same life stage, similar age, but we also just, in the next week when we got into kind of training and Ella was showing me around our systems, that's when kind of our natural curiosity and our like, not banter, but kind of our banter really began, because we would be like, oh, wow, this is really cool. Like, what if this was automated? Or, oh, this is really great. How can we make that even better? So that's kind of where it all began.
Yeah, it was this really beautiful mold where we had the same mindset of how can we provide the top-notch experience for our participants that we so badly want to be able to give on a regular basis. And it was interesting because we both be talking and we both had these big ideas, very visionary. I would say I was a little bit more on the theoretical system processing side, and then Brooklyn just came in and was able to take ideas and make them beautiful and visual and accessible to our people. And we started calling our meetings bread and butter time because we just felt like we got along so well together. And whenever we would meet, so much would happen after our meetings. And it was just so exciting to see that movement and that collaboration bear so much fruit in a short period of
Mm.
time. And I think that along with Brooklyn and I's relationship, we also just took so much joy in collaborating with the rest of Operation Mobilization and the teams that also needed to be involved in this process with our finance team and our technology team and our marketing team, and just being able to collaborate and build relationship while also asking those same questions of what can we
Mm.
do to create that top-notch experience.
Yes, I appreciate that so much. And for those of you who are listening, I want to remind you that we are a part of Operation Mobilization. We are a ministry that engages the hearts of women, the hands of women, but also focused on vulnerable women and children, vulnerable to human trafficking through poverty and oppression. So all of those streams come in and play into the changes that have been made. I also want to stop here and pause and just welcome and invite you into thinking about sisterhood as it has to do with fundraising. Imagining that as much as when you do a challenge, you are surrounded by other women and you're hearing their stories, you're carrying their stories, you have a like-minded purpose. The same is could be true about this portion. And I say that because the tools that these women have made will bring together opportunities for maybe you to do it with a friend, for you to invite your communities, your peers, your family to join you in this journey. And like we just alluded to just a little bit ago, the do it together portion adds so much fuel. And I love that it started out with curiosity and banter. And as we age, that's why I love having you ladies on the team. We can disconnect from curiosity and sort of that, what if it looked like this? So the invitation for those listening is pay attention to curiosity, lean in, maybe wonder a little bit, add the fuel of the work from these women and see what comes out. But certainly to do it together, not just you yourself. That's what this is all about. So, okay, we've made some changes. Drum roll, the big reveal. How will this technology, ladies, make our work as peer-to-peer fundraisers, as advocates, easier?
I'm going to go ahead and start with the website. I'll share that with you guys. When we were looking at the website, we knew we wanted it to have life. We wanted to have movement. So we added this video and essentially just like a one-stop shop. When people come to our website, whether they're a seasoned sister or someone new, we wanted them to be able to understand who we were, understand what we're doing, where we're going. And just like kind of have a place where, oh yes, how much money have we raised? How many trails have we blazed? Just kind of information that they can bring when they're sharing about the Freedom Challenge, or even just information about, oh yes, how do we prevent? What work are we doing to restore? Where do the funds go, right? All of that information can be found right here, right now. Another change that we did is we moved our challenges onto our website. So if you remember before, when you would go to learn about a challenge, register for a challenge, it took you into a whole separate website that wasn't our own. And so keeping it on our website, we're able to make it, one, look a little more aesthetic, and two, just give you a little bit more information. So you can see, oh, let me compare the hiker team versus the prayer team. What are their goals? What are their details? And just have it be a little bit more interactive as well. And then the third thing that we added is our blogs. They had been on hold for a couple years, so we brought them back because our community wanted to hear those impact stories. So they are always updated now. So you're able to go and see some of the latest stories. I just want to give a disclaimer that one, of course, all of our resources from our old website are still here, but this is still evolving. This was really just phase one. So there's still more to come. So if you do have some ideas or you're like, oh, I really need more about this, please feel free to reach out to us and just know that it might look different even just in a couple months from now.
Yeah, Brooklyn, I was going to add that we talked about these are the training wheels on our new process, and we really welcome feedback. And already we've had some funny, quirky things that we've needed to, go and fix or suggestions. And that is what I want to say, that we Freedom Sisters are a part of this team. Your voice matters. It matters to us. And you know the email here, and we want to hear from you. What's working, what's not. And this year really is, we're on our training wheels, but we're out here.
Yeah, I agree with that. We're trying to keep this process as mobile as possible because we really want it to serve our community in the way that they need to be served so that we can all make an impact together. So I'm going to share with you guys two things. I'm going to share with you an example of what our new fundraising platform registration page looks like. And then I'm going to show you one of our new email communications so you can just see the difference in what we're looking at and what you can expect. So first off, this is just our Arkansas challenge that's coming up here. And this is called Give Butter. Give Butter is a fundraising platform that's built to be more interactive and engaging with people who are participating in peer-to-peer fundraising. There's almost this social media feed feel access to it on the side here where people can comment, put GIFs, emojis, hype each other up, encourage one another. Makes it really easy to join teams and see all these incredible people who are actively fundraising and working to make a difference and the event itself. And overall, it is a more seamless and easy way to get yourself registered, signed up, and participating in one of our events. And so when you go to the website, it'll just leave you in the actual website form. But when you're in the email, when you're signing up for your fundraising page and you're actually a part of the event, this is what you're going to be interacting with on a regular basis. Now, the next thing that I wanted to show you is one of our new email communications. And this is something that we worked really hard on because we wanted people to have all the information that they needed right out the gate so they could just start running as soon as they start registering and participating in the event. So this is an example of one of our welcome emails. We've got a beautiful video of Tracy here just saying hello and hi. And what you'll see here is a very detailed breakdown of all the event information. And so what you can do when you receive the email is you'll have everything you need to be set up for success. And you'll see that it's chock full of resources like our packing list and our training guide. And one of we're really, really excited about is our fundraising guide. And this resource is full of things that you can take to set yourself up for success for fundraising. It's got things like a know where it goes guide. So if you want to be able to share with supporters exactly where the donations for the Freedom Challenge go, along with some project stories, it's in a single resource that you'd be able to share. Things like that we kept hearing come up time and time again. And then also, we're really putting an emphasis on prayer and how people can get engaged in prayer alongside you. And this is just all in one easy access place that you get an email upon registration. This is just one example of how we're really trying to take the communications to the next level. Another cool thing is that people are able to receive text messages from us now because we heard that that is the way that people like to hear from us during our events. And so we're just really excited about the ways in which we're able to communicate with our community and engage with them on a regular basis throughout the course of an event.
I mean, I've been loving getting my texts. I'm a text girl, no doubt. And I think that has made it significantly more powerful to get those texts, be reminded of things. Something else we didn't mention that I feel really proud of is being able to give through Venmo. I want you to tell us about that because I know this is like a fan favorite for people.
Oh, yes, for sure. Thank you for reminding me, Tracy.
Fan favorite.
This is a really fantastic thing. So when you send someone your fundraising page link, they'll be able to give directly to your page and they'll be taken to a screen where they can give via PayPal, Venmo, ACH if they're interested. Basically, all the main payment methods that you're able to do. It should take about 10 seconds to give a donation to your page, which is significant because we want to have as little barriers as possible when our people are going out and communicating with their communities.
That's good. That's good. Now, can I do a little pop quiz? You guys don't expect this, but I actually want to. There's been a couple, again, I'm saying this, ladies, I've had people through the years go, I don't want to tell you because I feel bad because I like you so much, but this isn't working for us. Okay, we are done with that. We are a team. We can speak truth to one another and love. We are all about the feedback. This is how we grow. This is how we grow personally. This is how we grow as a movement, the Freedom Challenge. So you, please, in love, give us your feedback. So a couple of things, if you remember, have come up was we had these great promo codes. And when we were testing this out, we're like, we just have a feeling this looks different than before. And it came up. So what if we show our friends where the promo code is? Because I know we have some promotions coming up. And we just want you to know where you get your promo code. Yeah.
So we're back on our website. We can, and like we're signing up for a challenge. Let's go to New York. How about that?
I love it. Let's go to New York.
On New York, you can, whether you click this button or either of these buttons down here, you will be able to find the promo code. So when you go here, it'll come up with this pop-up and you can choose what team you want to be on, how many, let's say you want to bring 5 friends with you.
Yes.
You can add the promotion code right here. It's kind of hidden, but it's there.
Yes.
And so you're able to type in, I don't happen to know promo code. I don't think there is one right now for New York, but when you enter it, it will affect this amount right here. And then you can just continue and move forward and put in all of the other information before getting registered.
So practical. I mean, and I think sometimes Brooklyn and Ella, we are used to seeing another platform for many years. And so our minds want to do a certain something. So 2 things, look for the promo codes because we all like to save a buck. And when you register, it's right there. You just look a little deeper. Okay, another pop quiz. Y'all gonna get mad at me? Okay, I want to give to my friend and I don't have their direct link. So how do I find them on this website? Like, I'm just like, I know I saw something on Instagram and I want to give to my friend because my friend Brooklyn is using all the amazing assets that have been provided to her about the Freedom Challenge. And I'm like, I want to give to her. So I go to the website and how do I find her?
As you can see, there are a couple buttons on here, the register ones and the sign up, but then there's also right here on all the pages, will be right there, donate to a participant. Now you'll notice when you click it, you're like, wait a second, this is exactly what the registration looks like. Oh, but look, there's this button, no thanks, I'd just like to donate. And so then you can choose whatever amount and you'll be able to find your person and kind of go from there. It's as easy as that.
I repeat, it is as easy as that, friends. You scroll down to the middle and you find the person on those cute little pictures, their name, and there you go. You can just donate straight to them. Thank you for doing a little show and tell with us. I know that these have just been some of the practical things that have come our way that we've already attended to. So we want to hear more. All right. Is there anything, ladies, that you want, anything else you want to share with our sisters about the ease, about the way that we go through this?
Yeah, just like to reiterate, this is a very mobile process and we're very in a state where we're flexible and wanting to make it adapt to our people as best as possible. So if you're registered for an event and you're receiving texts from us and you're like, hey, this is a bit much, or this is not enough, I want more, or a resource that you have an idea for, like we really want to hear from you and we really want to make sure that you're getting the support that you need to succeed.
Yes, I think we are of like mind on that. So here's our closing question. What has your experience been like from the inside, and describe it in one word, this process?
My word is encouraging. And if I can, I want to explain why, because there's kind of 3 different ways I've been encouraged by the Freedom Challenge. One, that my dreams have actually been able to come true. Through our hard work, we've been able to see fruition of the fruits, but also encouraging just based off of the where I'm actually seeing that there is change in the human trafficking world. Before coming on, I felt hopeless, but now it's like, oh wow, no, we are making a difference. And also encouraging just based off of the sisterhood. Once again, I just can't get over y'all. You're just incredible. Just that we even exist, that people, women like this exist. It's so encouraging.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Brooklyn. I think that's a great word. I would have to say mine's kind of along the same lines, but I'd say my word is catalyzing. I think that this has been a really catalyzing experience for me personally, and also just getting to work with this team. And they always say movement creates movement. And it's really interesting that this whole process started just with a little idea and then a little bit of movement. And then that movement started to grow on top of each other and build momentum where we were able to ask the questions that needed to be asked, but then also simultaneously create solutions and act on them. And I think that our women are experiencing that. They're feeling that change and that movement. And it's just really a catalyzing experience to be able to one, take part in that, and then two, see the way that that affects our community and the people that we get to work with.
Mm, love these answers. Ladies, I have a feeling you'll be back because we'll have another portion that we want to talk to our sisters about that will make the challenge of fundraising more accessible, less daunting, more buoyed up with support. And I know that you are both champions of that, as I am as well. So thank you for joining me this morning. And for those that are listening, I want to encourage you to get involved. Maybe you've been listening to this podcast for a while. Maybe you've been watching your friend on social media. Maybe you have thought about it and you just have not moved forward. So I want to invite you to get involved through challenging yourself, maybe on one of our physical challenges this year, which are all on our beautiful website. Praying intentionally. There are so many ways to engage in prayer in this community. And we never want to minimize the importance of that in the life of the Freedom Challenge. And then giving generously, the invitation to give. We are never more like our Heavenly Father when we give of ourselves and our experiences, our expertise, but also our finances. So you can look on our website. We have Arkansas coming up March 29th, the New York City Urban Hike on May 17th, a Moldova mission trip June 29th through July 12th, and the Adirondacks multi-day challenge in September 17th through 21 to be exact. If any of those dates are sticking out, your calendar is clear, and your heart is beating with resignation, we want you to join us. So participate. I hope to see some of you on one of the trails this year. And until next time, we will continue to do good, help those who are enslaved, women and children, do more than you ever thought physically possible. And like Brooklyn and Ella, do it together by connecting with women who have a heart for a hurting world. God bless.
Thanks for listening to the Freedom Challenge online podcast. If you liked what you heard, join the fight to set women and children on a pathway to freedom across the globe. We are a proud ministry of Operation Mobilization USA and encourage you to learn more at thefreedomchallenge.com and omusa.org for how you can get involved. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram at the FCUSA, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a review to let us know what you think. We'll see you next time.